I had the revelation of Emmett Till on July 3rd of 2018. So July, August, September. So it's a year and 2 months. 14 months. All right. I am Hotep, Air Jet. I am TutemRa, Nabu, Shahu, Capital. Okay. I guess I could go and shower and clean myself up and could do all that. But I'm not going to do that. What's today's date? Today is September 5th, 2021. And sometimes we go into these emotional moments with tears fall out of our eyes. I had one of those for about 2 minutes, around 20 minutes ago. The time is 5:55 p.m. September 5th. I started it at 5:54. 52 seconds going, and it's at 51 right now. But it's at 5:55. And so I started the video at 5:54, technically. I don't know how. Oh my goodness. What brought me here at this time? What was the name of the video? Oh, what happens after death? Alan Watts. 1959.
I have often puzzled and puzzled about what it must be like to go to sleep and never wake up. To be simply not there forever and ever. After all, one has some intimation of this by the interval that separates going to sleep from waking, when we don't have any dreams but go to sleep, and then suddenly we're there again, and in the interim there was nothing. And if there was never any end to that interval, if the waking up didn't happen, that's such a curious thought. And yet, you know, I believe that although that's rather gloomy kind of consideration, I found that's one of the most creative thoughts I ever thought in my life. And I keep going back to it. You know, it's in line with a lot of the very fundamental questions that children ask. When they say, "Mummy, who would I have been if you had married someone else?" These are the kind of questions that make us puzzle profoundly about our existence. And one of the reasons why I think thinking about not being, about total non-existence, is so creative, is that in comparison with that thought, the fact that we are seems kind of queer, incredibly odd. But you know, in the Western world, I suppose we have two dominant ideas about what happens to us when we die. There's the old-fashioned idea that after we die, we go to another world. I say old-fashioned, not to say it's out of date. We don't know what the answer to this is. But that's the traditional answer of the Western world. When you die, you go to another life. Maybe heaven, maybe purgatory, maybe hell, who knows? I think nowadays, though, the more general idea, the more plausible idea to many people, is that when we die, we just cease to be. That's all there is to it. But we're inclined, I think, to have in our minds a picture of this, which indeed is depressing, of being shut up in the dark for always and always and always, to be kind of buried alive in a blackness, where we are blind, deaf, and dumb, but somehow still conscious. But in the Eastern world, there are different ideas of this. The major Eastern idea is what is generally known as reincarnation, of going through life after life after life in an endless series, a process that is represented in this Japanese print of the Wheel of Life, the Buddhist Wheel of Life. This painting was lent to me by Mr. and Mrs. Imamura of Berkeley in California. He used to be the priest of the Berkeley Buddhist Church. And it shows the wheel of stages of existence through which beings pass, clutched by the great demon of impermanence. This is rather an unusual representation of the Wheel of Life. Perhaps some of you have seen these before. They usually have 6 divisions in the central part of the wheel here, and this one happens to have 5.
February 13, 2007. That is the date that this video was initially uploaded online. And so it's September 27, 2019. I had the revelation of Emmett Till on July 3rd of 2018. So July, August, September. So it's a year and 2 months. 14 months. July, August. Yeah, 14 months. 14 months. Emmett Till was murdered at 14. 14 months after I had the revelation. I get, you know, I wake up and I see this video. Here we go.
Peace, love, and light. All right. It's a YouTube channel called Gnosis. It's a brother named Brother Jamal, who I met him in Dallas at a lecture, at a Dr. Alim lecture. But he just put a video up about 2-3 days ago about Emmett Till, and he looked up the Hebrew for Emmett. So when he said what it was, he got my mind working. So, I started looking into some stuff, and I found some stuff that was interesting. Then my wife was helping me, and she was looking up the history of just what happened. And I don't know if y'all knew, because I didn't, but he had a father who died 10 years before him the same way. They killed him because he supposedly touched a woman. His name was Louis Till, and his son was Emmett Louis Till. I don't know if he was a junior, but either way. And it said that since he was known for it because of his father, that's why he was so easily, accused and blah, blah, blah. And we know this woman just came out and said she lied. You know what I'm saying? That was a fucking lie. They just hung the young man just because he was a young black man, period.
Yesterday was September 4th, and yesterday I actually started writing again. I hadn't been writing, just finished observing the 4th year in a row of, the birth, Emmett's birthday and the murder. So I did a lot of contemplating and a lot of just laying down, to be honest. But yesterday, I was looking up, trying to see what city my grandfather was born in, and he's born in Oroville, Alabama, and to get the spelling, I went to the obituary, and I started to look through the obituary, and I come to see that my grandfather had a brother named Emmett Dukes. So that happened yesterday, and from that I started to write again. I started writing a book again. And I've seen that obituary many times, and I can't ever remember seeing the name Emmett before. Perhaps I saw it before the revelation, but I can't remember ever seeing it or remembering that. So me seeing that yesterday was like fuel, and of course I took it as a sign. I started writing.
So, you know what I'm saying? Everything is ritual, you know what I mean? So I started looking. So when he put the Hebrew of the name out, which is Emmett, Aleph, Mem, Taw, and he made the point that that's the first letter, the middle letter, and the last letter. It's the beginning and the end. You know what I'm saying? So if you go look it up in the Kabbalistic dictionary, not Kabbalistic dictionary, the Strong's Concordance, it means truth.
So the name Emmett means truth, and as my book will entail and detail, I'll talk about what was my guiding beacon to Kemet, was my eye, the feather of truth. So I think that's quite interesting as you continue to see all the links in this video that I was drawn to watch at 3 a.m. in the morning.
To emit means truth, right? And so I looked up the Till, and pronounced Till is really just TL, but this TL comes from TLL. You see what I'm saying? And since they spell his name, since his name is TLL, I figured that's the whole name, Emmett Till. You see what I'm saying? And Kabbalistically equals 901. So, you know what I'm saying? Go here, and you go look at 901, right? And you get Ark of the Covenant.
The more familiar you get with my story, the more you will see how the word ark, Ark, Noah's Ark, Ark of the Covenant, all fit my story in relationship to Moses, the character Moses, right? You know, because the character Moses came down from the mountain with the Ark of the Covenant, and in it had the Ten Commandments, which come from the negative laws, confessions of Ma'at, 42 negative confessions. It has to do with what food was in, what the manna was in the Ark, right? And what they say the manna is. The staff was in the Ark of the Covenant. But this has to do with a biblical character named Moses, right? But what we want to talk about is who that biblical character was in real life, and that has to do with Akhenaten, the father of Tutankhamun. You know, so you'll see he also mentions the word Amen and all of the other things that come up when he's doing the etymology and the numerology of this word, Emmett Till, of this name, Emmett Till.
Ark of the Covenant. Now, for my literal Bible believers, you think that's like a box with some kind of magic stuff in it. That's not what that is. The Ark of the Covenant is truly your pineal gland. You know what I'm saying? Noah is the soul, and he built the Ark of the Covenant, okay? But we not, I'm not going to get into that. I'll let you figure out what it is. You see these numbers. Now, check it out. So, you see, his name, Emmett Till, equal 901, right? Now, before I did it that way, I combined it, because you see, it ends with a taw and begins with a taw. So if you take one of those out, and that's how you really pronounce Till, then you'll get Emmett Till, right? Right? Emmett Till, right? One word. It equals 471. Come back here to the book. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know I always got to bring it, because it just is what it is. See, 471 is Mount Moriah.
Now you will notice that this page that he flipped to, it had the page, what did it have? It had a cycle, or cycles, angels, pure world, period of time, right? So look, he flips to a page, and it's talking about eternity. Now, the Necha head, people have heard me talk about this, is the Necha, or the God of time, infinity, millions of years. And this is the nature, or the deity that was used as the logo of my yoga course that I attended to become a yoga instructor. And it's also the same exact logo of head that was for my yoga course, is found on a chair of Tutankhamun, his royal chair. So look, the first page, eternity. Coincidence? One time is an incidence, twice is a coincidence, 3, 4, 5 is a pattern. Can you tell a difference?
All right, you go there. Second Corinthians, 3rd chapter, Mount Moriah. So I thought that was interesting as well. And since it equal 471, the word Emmett, right? Hold that thought. 471. The word Emmett, right, equals 441. Which backwards is 144,000, all right? But that word comes from this word, which is amen, like amen.
I'm sure there's a portion of you who are paying attention to the word amen there. And of course, Tutankhaten's name was changed to Tutankhamen. So as you're going to see, many things are connected here. And I'm going to end this video shortly, but you'll see when I make the other part of it. I don't feel like doing it anymore today. You'll see how all the other things that he brought up are connected to my past lives of Emmett Till and Tutankhaten.
Amen, that's an N, right? It equals 741, which is the same as this. You see what I'm saying? Just a switch of the 7 and the 4. It's on the same frequency when they equal the same thing. Because if you add them up, 7 plus 4 is 11 plus 1 is 12. That's 3. 4 plus 7, 1, 3 is 12, 3. You see what I'm saying? So that was a correspondence. And then in Hebrew, you have the final letters, some letters that are final letters, and none is one of them, where it can equal 50 or it can equal 100 or 700.
So now he goes to a page, where you see Scorpio, and of course, the oldest pharaohs that are known are the Scorpion pharaohs, right? And I just so happen to be a Scorpio, right? So, and then under it, you see Mars. I'm born on a Tuesday, ruled by Mars, right? So everything, a Tuesday is ruled by Anubis and Pu, the lord of mummification, who ushers the soul to be weighed against the feather, the heart to be weighed against the feather. Right? So everything is lining up here. So Nun, the roaring waters of Nun, the beginning. I'm a water sign. So, I'm going to do more to this later. This is just September 5th. This is how my book is, basically. My book is how sometimes these things just happen. They just connect everything. But when you see all the things that connected me to or how the universe showed me who I was in my previous life, my previous lives. So today started with, today is all really coming off of this time of year. July 25th, Emmett Till's birthday. August 28th, Emmett Till murdered. The Black August. So many things happened in August. You know what I mean? My grandfather died in August. So many things in August. And then now in September coming up, so many things in September. And so yesterday finding out that my grandfather had a brother named Emmett. And today, I got into that emotional moment in the beginning of this video. And something told me to record and say something, and I caught myself like, why are you again crying on video? And it started making me think about how all these things would come about. And I started to put this little video together, but I'm done for the day. Shem Im Hotep, Near Jet, love return.